There's a lot of confusion, I think, for people who come into the mission because they don't understand how like St. Martin works. Because it's actually divided in half. The larger portion of the half is actually French, and the other half is Dutch owned. So on one half of the island they speak French. On the Dutch side, however, they speak English. Lots of people know how to speak Dutch. They're required to learn it like in school, and they'll often do it if they work at businesses and things because it's usually corporations from Holland or things like that. But nobody really is there that speaks exclusively Dutch. It's mostly English. So I remember I had one group of new missionaries who had came in that we picked up from the airport, and they were Dutch speaking, and they were hoping they were going to get to go to St. Martin. I was like, sorry, elders, you're stuck in Suriname. But St. Martin is a beautiful island. It's really, really pretty. It's pretty small. It honestly is very small, and it's I don't know, it was a great place to start off. It's the furthest north island in the West Indies mission, so it's very Americanized compared with the rest of the mission. So there's a lot of stores or businesses that run the same way. They use American currency there. It's not their official currency, but it's better than their official currency, so everybody takes American cash. They take US dollars. And I don't know, there's just a lot of access to American food and things like that. Milk, and like actual dairy milk that would be refrigerated was there, and that's not in any other place in the mission. It's all like shelf milk with like 70% of it is just preservatives and stuff that you don't refrigerate. So that was something cool about it. As far as the history of St. Martin, it's just kind of an interesting island. I had heard from one of the French missionaries that how it actually got divided, and just the line was that when the French and the Dutch were actually going to separate it, that they had a contest. They would both just get hammered drunk, and then they would walk across a line across the island to see if that would be the dividing line. And apparently the French commander was able to hold his liquor better than the Dutch commander, and so that's why the French one is bigger. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I'd heard. St. Martin is a very desert type island. So in comparison with like Trinidad or Tobago, which are very, very green, they receive a lot less rain up there. So it's hot, but it's more dry. It's a very sunny place. Obviously the water and the beaches are like pristine, so that was really cool but tempting at the same time. The people there, it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of different, like, how could I say it, economic classes, you could say, in such a tiny place. So you might have people that are very, very poor living in like a board house, which is literally like 4 boards put up. Housing there isn't as like rigorous a process as it is here, because their houses don't need to be insulated because it's just tropical weather all the time. So it's basically just like 4 boards, and some people just live in like a shed, probably smaller than this room. And but then on other places in the island, they've got nice ports and marinas and people with very, very large mansions and things like that, just because it is such a nice place. So there can be a really big economic disparity, but the people are very, very nice. When it comes to religion, all the places in the West Indies mission are very religious, so they're very accepting of the missionaries generally. Most people know that you're working for God, and they accept that, and they'll welcome you in. So they were very nice. I loved St. Martin and the people there. I guess the only other funny things about St. Martin, just as a missionary, that were kind of interesting was that they have lots of cruise ships there. It's one of the biggest ports in the West Indies mission, and so we would get lots and lots of cruise ships. And so sometimes like once a week during cruise ship season, you'd have people from Utah or people that are members of the church, just shouting out to you and things like that. So that made it a lot of fun.